Hello and welcome everyone to this new YouTube video. This is the 10th video of our video series and congratulations for making it till here. In this video, we are going in depth and we are going to learn view result tree. We are going to learn everything inside view result tree. We are going to analyze the reports. We are going to learn this how requests are processed, what are sampler result, request, response, everything we are going to learn. Next, we are going to learn about aggregate report, how to view and how to analyze this report, what each and every term means. We are going to understand the summary report about every term which is mentioned over here. And also we are going to analyze the graph result, how it works and how everything is there. So this video might be a little longer, but I assure you if you hold it till last and if you learn it till last, you will be like a very pro in performance testing. This is the most important video of the entire series. So let's not waste further time and let's get started. Okay. So as you all know that in previous video we have set up this HTTP request, we have everything done, we have run the script as well and we got the result as well. I have added one extra aggregate report. To add this you can just right click on the thread group, add, and you can add listener, and you can listener in aggregate report you can add. Okay, so you can do this and you can run it. So now coming back to view result tree. So over here what does it mean? View result tree, basically you can see here green symbols. Either it can be green or it can be red depending on your request which you are hitting is successful or unsuccessful. So when I am seeing green, it means we have successfully done the performance testing and our request which is going to the API, that is successful. Okay, and how to analyze this? When you click on any of the requests, so this is one request, this is one request, this is one request, this is one request, you can see at every request you can see when you click on any of the request under sampler result, what are the information that you can see. First of all, let's go through that. First of all, you will see the thread name. So it will tell you that which thread it has hit this API. So as you all know, we had 5 threads, right? We used 5 threads to hit the API. So thread number 1 has hit this API. And what is the start time? You have seen the start time. What is the load time? What is the connect time? What is the request latency? Okay, size in bytes. Not everything is important here. You just need to see that okay, response message is okay or not, and the response code is 200 or not. If it is 200 and if the response message is okay, it means you have successfully run. And we will analyze the latency and everything in aggregate and summary report. Okay, what next important thing that you have to see in view result tree is the request part. So what request have you given? So you can see we have requested this page. If you have checked, this was the page we requested in our previous video. So if you remember, this was it, HTTP request response page equal to 2, and it was the get data, there were no cookies. And what was the request header? This were the request header of the API. What is the response data? This is the response data that you can see. This is the response that API has given to us. In case you don't know how to run the performance testing, you should see the previous video where we have run it and now you are just analyzing it. Okay, so under response data you will be able to see two things, response body as well as response headers. So when you click on response body, you will see the response body what is there, and under response header you will be able to see the response header. Okay, in case the API fails, you get a red symbol here, and in response body you will get the error code as well. So you have the error code and you can debug it very easily. You will have the logs as well over here. So that was all about view result tree. Under view result tree, what we have learned, what is important for us, we can able to see the request and we can able to see the response, and we are able to see the response code as well, which is important for us to analyze. Okay, number 2, let's go to aggregate report. Here comes the main game plan. Okay, now we will understand one by one every column in detail. So number 1 is samples. What does sample means? Sample basically mean that how many times the API has got the hit. Okay, so if you remember, I have 5 threads. Let's go to HTTP request thread group. How many thread did we have? We have 5 thread. And what was the loop count? We have 5. It means that one thread will hit how many times? 5 times. So 5 thread will hit how many times? 5 5s are 25 times, right? So when you go to aggregate report, it is very clear that 25 times is the total hit on the API, which includes all the user. Now comes the second point, which is average. What does average mean over here? It means the average time. Okay, average time the API has taken to give us the response. And mostly remember this, all of these times are in milliseconds. You have to make a note of it. So when I say 49 is the average, it means 49 millisecond is the average. Okay, so in 49 milliseconds the API has given us the response on an average. Okay, so this is what you can convey also to the stakeholder, that on an average our API is taking 49 millisecond time. And let me tell you, an API which is taking less than 100 milliseconds or less than 50 milliseconds is a very good API. So congratulations if you are in a company and your API is taking less than 100 milliseconds. That means you guys are very in a good position. Alright, median. What is the median? It is 21 milliseconds. So on a median it has taken 21 milliseconds. Next comes the 90% line, which is important for you to understand. So what does 90% line actually means? Imagine you had 25, not imagine, you have actually 25 requests, right? So in this 25 requests, 90% of the request has taken 51 milliseconds. Okay, so you understand what is average and what is 90%. Average is basically, it will tell you on an average the API has given response in this many time, in 49 millisecond, but 90% of the time your API has taken 51 millisecond. Okay, this is crucial for understanding that most of the request is taking how many time. Now is 95% line. It means that what is the 95% of the time API is doing? It is taking 255 millisecond. 99% line, it is taking 316 milliseconds. Okay, minimum, which out of this 25 samples, what is the minimum? It's a 17 millisecond. What is the maximum? It's 316 milliseconds. Okay, all right. What is the error rate? 0.0%. When I say error rate is 0.0%, you come here, there is no error, you can see everything is green. That means the error is 0.0%. Number last is throughput. What is the throughput it is giving? Throughput, as you all know, I have already explained in previous videos as well in detail, but let me explain you again. Throughput basically means that in 1 second how many requests our API is able to serve. So on API, how many requests did we give? We give 25 requests, but in 1 second how many requests it is able to process? It is able to process 3.1 requests. Okay, roughly 3 requests per second. So to process 25 requests, how many time it will take? It is basically 25 divided by 3, which comes to be around somewhere 8 or something, right? So this is your throughput, and in under 8 seconds the entire test has been finished. Received bytes and sent byte, it's not very important, but you can understand that this many of data has been transferred, this many data has been received, and this many data has been sent in KBs. Okay, so this is the entire aggregate report. You can export this report as well. Right click on aggregate report and you can save this node as image, save screen as image, save selection as, you can save the report as well. Okay, so this is what you can do in this thing. You can save the table data as well. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the summary report. So when you see summary report, it's mostly the same thing, but it is little bit of difference. Samples we have already seen in previous aggregate report. This is sample. Average we have seen, minimum we have seen, maximum we have seen. The new term which comes over here is the standard deviation. So what does standard deviation means? Standard deviation means that when a API is giving you response, what is the deviation in that response? For example, I had 25 samples. Okay, so for example, most of the time API is giving under in 25, what is the average time? 49 millisecond. So most of the time the API is giving response in 49 milliseconds. So first response 49, second 49, third 49. Then what will be the standard deviation? 0, because it is very consistent. It is every time it is taking 49 seconds. But what if sometimes it takes 49 seconds, sometimes it takes 316 seconds? Then there is lot of difference, and that creates a huge standard deviation. So now you have understood that when standard deviation is less or low, it means your API is good. When standard deviation is high, it means your API has some problems. Error we have already checked. Throughput, receive, send, and everything is done. Average bytes is what is the average data transfer in a second. Okay, So this is what the summary report is. You can same time you can also save the table as data. You can export the result by right clicking on this. I hope everything till here is clear. If you have any doubt, you can come into the comment section also. Let's move ahead. Let's move to graph result. So here is our graph result. It is not very important as aggregate report, but you should have an idea of what is happening in graph result. What do we analyze in graph result? So basically in graph result we look for certain peaks. Right now you can see there are small graph, pink color, green color, black color, right? You don't see any peak because we have only 25 samples. How many samples we had? 25. But if the number is very large enough, then you will be able to see the peaks over here. You will be able to see the peaks over here. That peak will denote that if there is any spike in your performance, if there is something which has broken, it will give you an idea of that. Unfortunately, this API request response.in doesn't allow us to test this many traffic, but if you are testing a good API from Hotstar, Netflix, which has a great amount of traffic, you might be able to see the peaks also. Here you can see the data number of sample 25, latest sample 49, average time 49, median time 21. These all are time are in milliseconds. Please remember, throughput is 183 per minute. It means that in 1 minute 183 requests can be served. Standard deviation is 71. So these four things are important. We have checked result tree, aggregate report, summary report, and graph result as well. I hope everything is clear. If you have any doubt, do let me know. And in the next video we are going to actually upgrade ourselves. This was all till basics. In next video we will learn about parameterization and correlation and all the advanced topic in the JMeter. So that's it for this video. If you have liked it, you can consider subscribing or liking, whatever you feel. So until then, goodbye, take care.